What's up, people? Welcome back to another explanation video. This time I'm gonna go over top 5 best daggers in the game currently. So yeah, with that being said, let's do this, shall we? Starting off, number 5. I got the Vein Shredder. The Vein Shredder is a really good dagger. Most people probably use that for the buff itself, like the Tiger Resolve back in the day, but Vein Shredder is actually a really good DPS dagger. So with really good dex and agility, yeah, it is perfect for dagger because dagger mostly use dex and agility for the perimeter. So yeah, this thing you can get it pretty early in the game as well, as soon as you unlocked the West normal rate, and you'll get a chance that you can get it from the boss chest. And this dagger itself can go pretty high, later in the game. Like you can clear out all the extreme rate with it, no problem if you upgrade it. So yeah, that's my number 5 list. Moving on, number 4, I got the Vice Spark. Vice Spark is a really good dagger. You can get it from the extreme rate, and as usual, you can get 4 different versions. And as soon as you can unlock extreme rate, yeah, go ahead and try to upgrade that dagger because it gives really good stats plus accuracy, and the White Spark can get you pretty far into the game as well, so it'll be a 1 step higher than the Vein Shredder. The only problem is that extreme rate is extreme rate because there's a lot of items in the chest, so yeah, getting one might not be as easy, but the recommendations are the 4 stats: strength, dex, or strength agility. Either one works just fine. Like you can use whatever you can get. It's always fine. Don't worry about the stats too much unless you really want to get the high stats. But yeah, that's my number 4 spot. Number 3, I got the XT Screaming Crystal. This dagger is actually a really good dagger, but it will be somewhere in the middle because it only has like high dex and okay attacks. Yeah, it will be slightly better than the extreme version if you can get it. Somewhat of good stats, but other than that, like, this thing has no accuracy. That's the only problem. And Screaming Crystal is actually not that crazy to farm, but it might be for some people. Most of the time, if you farm, it is also dropped from the East Supreme Ray boss chest. Yeah, if you can kill the boss, you're most likely gonna get the dagger more than the sword for some people. It'll be good if you can get it, but then again, once you get to that point, there are obviously way better daggers than that. So it's kind of like, it's a good dagger, but it's not like OP. Plus, you by the time you can able to kill level 400 for the East Supreme Ray boss, you might as well just use other stuff because the dagger only has 1 type of stat, which is just the dex, and the attack doesn't go crazy high and has no accuracy. So overall, it is better than extreme version of the dagger. Yeah, so that's my number 3 spot. Moving on, number 2, I got the XT Thousandfold Knife. The XT Thousandfold Knife is a really powerful dagger in this game. You can get it from the you can get the fixed stats from the Ancient Apostle and random drop from the Supreme Ray as well. However, there is an extra copy for a randomized stats, which you can get higher than the Hawkeye plus the Hawkeye passive and the Reaper's Wrath version. That one is a fixed stat when you get that double skill on it. But this new version from the Supreme Ray, you can get that with a randomized stat. So it's really good if you can get some high stats. But the problem is it's really hard to get. So yeah, that's the only problem. with a good amount of strength, dex, and attack, as well as the built-in accuracy plus the passive, this dagger can hit a lot, and you can go pretty, pretty high level, like for the level 400 and level 500, no problem with this dagger. So mainly because of the accuracy, and it has pretty decent amount of good stats and attacks. So this is what makes a dagger really powerful, is to have, dagger's always been powerful. It's just because of the accuracies and because of the perimeter. So yeah, that will be my number 2 spot. Last but not least, the number 1 spot, I got the Ruinous Twist. This dagger is very, very OP. So if you can get that, it's insane. Because of the agility, it has really, really good strength and dex already when you max it out. Plus the agility part, because dagger certainly use quite a bit of agility as well. Because because it does scale up quite a bit in this game, especially when you have agility with anything. So yeah, this is what makes a DPS dagger OP, is that get that agility built in. Otherwise, like strength and dex is good, but if you don't have the agility itself like built in, you're not gonna get that extra damage. So yeah, it has pretty good attack, not like a lot, and it has a really, really good accuracy plus the passive. So yeah, this dagger has everything on there. Even though the attack is low, but the stats makes up whatever's missing. So yeah, it is definitely one of my favorite DPS dagger at the moment. You can get that from random drop in the Supreme Ray. Like I said, Supreme Ray is all about random drop sometimes for these things, so there's not really like a specific location you can farm it. I got that plenty from the chest just by doing the west. I also got plenty from doing it in the east. So yeah, like I said, just hopefully you'll get the evolution. That's good. It also has a 2 or 3 different set like attack, so you might get the maximum attack, you might get the version that is not maximum. So yeah, that's the only problem. Other than that, the stats are great, the DPS is great for this dagger. Alright people, that's all for my top 5 list. Some of the spots can be exchanged, but overall it's pretty close because all these daggers are pretty good, especially when they're like the number 2 and number 1, because ultimately both are really, really good dagger. It just depends on which one you can get. Like if you can get a really max stats of 40x the XT 1000-fold, then it might be really good. Then again, it's kind of hard to test because the randomized weapons are way too difficult to get from the extreme ray. So yeah, it's kind of hard to see what the maximum potential is for these weapons. Other than that, daggers in this game, it is very powerful without being said. Like I mentioned it so many times in the past. If you ever watched most of the old videos, it's pretty much go-to at level 50 daggers. It's quite insane. So yeah, dagger without being said is definitely one of the best weapons, just like spear and dual wield. So yeah, without being said, I hope you guys enjoy it. Next time I come back, I'll have different top lists.